college football had a heck of a week. Another great open, new one. And you can't complain about some of the results that came out of this week, especially if you're an Alabama fan. Ole Miss, you might have had a couple of complaints about that. Alabama beats Ole Miss 66-3, and the score was as bad as the game. It was a complete butt kicking from start to finish. And Alabama seems to be in that mode where they're getting better every week. And when they start getting better every week, and it's not week 8 or week 9, it's not too early for them to lose, or not too late for them to lose. There's a chance you can get them, but you better get them early. Next up was a team that looks like they maybe have a chance of getting Alabama, but if they do it, it wouldn't be until the SEC championship game. That's Georgia, that shut out Butch Jones in Tennessee 41-0. And if you keep track of college football, especially Tennessee college football, you are aware that Butch Jones has been under a lot of fire. Quite a bit of fire, actually, and rightfully so. This is his 5th year in Tennessee. It's his 5th year in the SEC East. And the other four years before this, Missouri won it twice, and Florida won it twice. What's his excuse? None, really. Doesn't give any. But it doesn't bode well for the long-term employment possibilities of Butch and his staff. Next up on the college football scene was a game I particularly took some glee in. This was last Friday night. The USC Trojans went up to the Palouse and played Washington State. Mike Leach and Washington State beat them. It was a great game, well executed. Sam Darnold had a couple of key turnovers, one especially at the end of the game. That was pivotal. Luke Falk, the quarterback for Washington State, had a very good game. So at the end of this game, SC was no longer number 5, and Washington State is now ranked number 11 in the country. Congratulations to Mike Leach and company. Anytime I see SC lose, I think it's a good day. Next up on the school side is a team that might be the best team in the country that we just aren't going to learn too much about until maybe later in the year. That's Penn State. They beat Indiana 45-14. Saquon Barkley went crazy. He was running the ball. He was catching the ball. He was throwing the ball. He had a touchdown pass. This guy's making a strong argument that not only is his team one of the best in the country, and also maybe he is the best player in the country, which maybe means that he wins the Heisman Trophy at the end of the year. But keep in mind, for a running back to win that award these days, you've got to be on a national championship team. It's not fair. That bar is just set a little higher for non-quarterbacks. And that'll be the reality. Maybe Saquon Barkley, maybe Penn State can pull that off. All right, next up here is my quote of the week. Got to be this one. Got to be this one from Mike Leach of Washington State. Check it out.
Coach, heck of a win. What's it like there right now?
It's a good win. There's a lot of people. It's like Woodstock, except everybody's got their clothes on.
Well, listen.
That's Mike Leach. Okay? Offensive genius winning with defense. Go figure. And something else, we got the NFL and what went on with the NFL this week. It was an exciting week at times. It was an unpredictable week at times in the NFL. The saddest story of the week in the NFL was the crowd that wasn't there for the San Diego Chargers. The LA Chargers. You should probably want to go back to San Diego. But here in Atlanta, you had a very nice game that went on between the Buffalo Bills and the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta had their last second gonna score touchdown try. It's gonna be good, but they were trying to do it without Mohamed Sanu and without Julio Jones. Didn't work out, and Atlanta went down to Buffalo 23-17. Hey, you're not gonna be 16-0. That's the reality. And who cares? The idea is not about winning all of them early. It's about winning the last one. Next up in the NFL score scene is the Patriots, the New England Patriots, a team that many people enjoy watching to lose. And they cooperated, and they lost to Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. And Cam Newton finally had a Cam Newton-like game, finally had a good game, and rubbed it in a lot of people's faces and reminded people, A, two things. A, the guy can dress really well, and B, he can be a real ass when he gets to rub it in your face to reporters. But we'll see how well he keeps playing. But he did on Sunday against the New England Patriots, and that was kind of fun to watch. How about the Los Angeles Rams? Yep, L.A. Rams, another team back in L.A. They played the Dallas Cowboys. They played America's team, and they won. Sean McVay is their head coach. He's the grandson of my former general manager at San Francisco, John McVay, and he led this team. He and Goff, the quarterback, they've got a very nice defense. They beat the Dallas Cowboys. They have the top scoring offense in the NFL right now. They are 3-1 and leading the West. It's a wonderful feel-good story. As good as you have to feel for the Rams, like I said earlier, you got to feel just as bad for the Chargers and the fact that they play in the soccer stadium somewhere down there south of Los Angeles, and they can't fill it up. And they're actually tarping over seats in about a 25,000, 30,000 seat stadium. Now that, you don't need much more of a definition of what sad is than that. And something that went on this weekend that we've seen going on the last couple of weekends are, I'll just call them the kneelers. The guys that have to kneel before the national anthem, the guys that have to kneel before any kind of a pregame ceremony. And we've seen it in a good amount of time, good amount of guys. The first week this all happened, and a couple of these shots are from those games, there were over 300 of the 1,600, so less than a quarter of the NFL participated in these kneel downs. This week, there were, I'll be nice and say about 100 league-wide that kneeled down. So a lot of the pressure, a lot of the disdain, they're starting to get the message that people don't like it. You know what? You can't have it both freaking ways. We're protesting. Yes, you're protesting social change, right? You want to make people aware of something that you're protesting. That's great. I think it's fantastic, and it's your constitutional right. But you can't pick something you say has nothing to do with the reason you're protesting. Every time it makes my head explode when I hear people say this. Well, no. This has got nothing to do with the flag and the veterans and anything else. It's got nothing to do with that. This is about our protest. Yeah, but you're doing it during the anthem. That makes it about that. You can't have it both ways. Doesn't work like that. And I'll be glad when they stop doing that crap, personally. Now, big upset of the week. Got to show you this. And I mentioned it a little bit earlier. But Troy and LSU. They refer to themselves as the Men of Troy. And man, were they. They built a 24-7 lead with that run right there at LSU at night in Baton Rouge. And then LSU scored a couple of meaningless touchdowns later, as it turned out, and they lost 24-21. The best thing about that afterwards, though, is after picking up their $950,000 check, Troy kind of trolled LSU online. Thanks for the check. Need us to come back anytime. Just let us know. We'd be happy to get another $950,000. Congratulations to Troy, and man. Tough times ahead for Ed Ogeron and LSU in only the first 5 games or so of his tenure as head coach, full-time head coach. There was a game Monday night, I don't know how many of you were aware of, and it was the Washington Redskins were playing at Kansas City. And it ended kind of late, so if you didn't see it, I understand. Actually, if you stayed up long enough to watch Kansas City kicked the field goal to put them ahead 23-20 and didn't see the last 4 seconds, I also understand. But man, did you miss a show. This is what has always been referred to as, in the gambling industry, which I know nothing about, but as a backdoor cover. Kansas City was favored by upwards of 7 points in this game or so. And the total points, the over-under, was about 48 or so. So when it's 23-20 and you bet on Kansas City and the over, you lost twice. Big problem. Now, plays run, they fumble. Kansas City picks up the ball. Kansas City runs it in for a touchdown. Backdoor cover. 29-20. Not only do you go over the point total of 48 to 49, you cover that 7 points I was talking about. And I tell you, that a game like that, that's living proof you should never bet on sports. Thank you very much.